Welcome back to the Phillies Fan Podcast here on Big Fan Sports. I'm your host, Jaden Harper, and the Phillies save their season. They come back and they defeat the New York Mets in one of the greatest postseason games of all time. 7-6 was the final score for tonight's game. A back and forth affair from the beginning. You start off, the Phillies are down 3-0, a home run by Pete Alonso, a home run by Mark Vientos. 3-0 Phillies. Then Bryce Harper with his 2-run home run. We'll talk about him in a second. Then Nick Castellanos going back-to-back with his home run. And then the Mets taking the lead right back. The Phillies coming back and taking the lead in the 8th. To the Mark Vientos hitting his second home run of the game to give the Mets the lead to tie the game in the 9th. And then Nick Castellanos coming through in the 9th with a walk-off base hit. We'll start with Castellanos. He's the player of the game. He had one of his best postseason outings at the plate as a Philly. Yes, last year he had 2 games where he hit 2 home runs against Atlanta, but this might just mean a little bit more considering how big he was being right behind Bryce Harper, making the Mets pitch to Bryce Harper. In the 6th inning, Severino pitched to Harper. Harper hit the home run. Castellanos followed it back up. So then the Mets had to keep pitching to Bryce Harper. They almost gave up the walk-off hit to Harper. It was right down the line, really close to being a walk-off base hit for Harper. But Castellanos 3-hit ball game, home run in the 6th right after Harper, and then the walk-off base hit, had a hit, and then scored on the Stott triple. Him being able to back up Harper in the 4-hole and Harper the 3-hole is huge because that gives Harper security to make the Mets pitch to him, and Harper will make the Mets pay. You saw it today with the home run off of Severino, and also doing damage against McGill in the 9th inning, leading up to the walk. So Harper being able to get a little hot, we'll talk about him in a second, but Castellanos getting hot right behind Harper is going to change this whole series and this whole postseason for the Phillies. This is the biggest game Nick Castellanos has had as a Philly. He did hit 2 home runs last year. He had all the amazing sliding grabs. He had a great sliding grab today in the 8th inning. But this game today really cemented how Nick Castellanos' experience, I'll put it that way. He struggled. He struck out, the booze. He swung really low in the dirt, but then he has those moments. He has the home run. He has the walk-off base hit, the 5th walk-off in Phillies postseason history, the first one since the 2009 National League Championship Series in between the Phillies and Dodgers, where Jimmy Rollins hit the walk-off triple. So maybe the Phillies will follow that fate and go back to the World Series. We'll see. But the Phillies, led by Nick Castellanos, take this game. And also Bryce Harper. Harper, a huge game for him. He was able to hit the ball and hit into the gaps where he needed to. The big home run, 431 feet to dead center field off of the batter's eye against Severino in the 6th inning. Got the Phillies right back into the game and got the crowd riled up at Citizens Bank Park. And then the single to get on right in front of Castellanos. Then he went to third while the Castellanos single scored on the Stott triple, and then was able to walk right in front of Castellanos when Castellanos hit the walk-off single. So Bryce Harper really had a big game as well after okay game 1, a 1-for-2 game, 2 walks, a strikeout, and a double. But this game, I feel like he just showed how good he is and why he is the man in Philadelphia. And this is going to get overshadowed now. We're going to talk about Christopher Sanchez here. He pitched very well today. Obviously, he gets the no decision, but he pitched very well today. Goes 5 innings, allowed 5 hits. It's not great. 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. So this is his longest postseason outing. You wanted more out of him, but that was really good considering the offense was dead silent at that point in the game. So Christopher Sanchez kept the Phillies in the game through 5 innings. The bullpen did it for the most part as well. Straub, it was an unbelievable pitch hit by Vientos, so that's not really Straub's fault. But the Phillies were able to work down the Mets and get through the Mets to be able to win this game, and that's going to be big for them if they can continue this in this series. The series is now tied up at 1 game apiece. We look at the remaining schedule in this National League Division Series tied up at 1-1. Mets won yesterday 6-2. Phillies won today 7-6. Game 3, the biggest game on the series, in my opinion, on Tuesday, 5 o'clock on FS1. I'll also be live for that game. Wednesday, we'll do the same time on FS1. So we'll see what happens in that game. That will also now be necessary. Could be moved depending on the result of the Dodgers-Padres series. And then Game 5 would be right now, 4 o'clock on FS1 on Friday. Could go to 8 o'clock depending on the result of the Dodgers-Padres series. But what a win for the Phillies. They tie the series up back at 1 game apiece. Dodgers-Padres playing right now. So we'll have 2 series through 2 games. And then the AL will continue their series tomorrow. But thank you for watching the Phillies fan podcast here at Big Fan Sports. I'm Jaden Harper, and I'll see you next time.